Goldberg, the dominant figure on The View, suddenly found herself in the middle of the most important legal struggle of her life. Hold on, everyone. This is going to be an emotional roller coaster.
On ABC News Live.
The Weekend View with everyone except for Whoopi Goldberg. So what's the...
Let's discuss an insider-reported $250 million lawsuit. Karoline Leavitt, who has been dragged around by the opinions of the so-called feminist panel for years, is at the center of this scandal. Whoopi tried to escape town before the situation erupted, but the authorities weren't playing games and stopped her at the airport. And yes, she was arrested.
They have mocked him, they have shamed him, they have lied about him consistently on their show. And it was a joy to watch them on November the 6th when they realized that tens of millions of Americans do not listen to the lies that they have spewed. These women are completely out of touch with reality. And you're right, ABC should wake up. They just paid $15 million to President Trump's future library. That's a great thing for the American people.
I promise you won't want to miss this. But first, hit the like button and subscribe for more startling updates. So, what exactly is Whoopi being accused of? Why is ABC moving into crisis mode? And is this the end of the program as we know it? Well, let's begin.
Goldberg is on thin ice to the point where they're actually coming out with a new promo for The View. I know that show that we can't stand to watch because, you know, she does things like this. She spits when she says the president's name.
Listen, take him seriously and take him literally.
I don't think that we have to. I think it would be remiss of us to not say Joe Biden knows how to do this.
Yes.
He knows how to do this. He's quite good at this. And you know, you can't refute anything with him because he just, when I say him, I mean...
He rambles.
Trump.
Yeah.
He tends to just...
But can I mention one thing?
Now, let's look at the drama over the years. Whoopi Goldberg and the cast of The View have a history of demeaning conservative voices, dismissing them, and dragging anyone who dared to question their plot. However, this time they messed with the wrong woman. It all started when Whoopi attacked Karoline Leavitt, making accusations so baseless and slanderous that Karoline had no choice but to retaliate violently.
I would like this young lady this is her first job, I would like her to do a little homework. Because she said something yesterday that really pissed me off. And that was, she said, there will be no wokeness here.
Oh, yeah.
Let me explain something to you. Because without that wokeness, you might not have that job.
Yeah.
Because women were not invited to that table. Women were not invited to many tables in this nation. The reason we fought and busted our behinds to make sure that you didn't have to worry about them.
And strike back accusing Whoopi and The View of spreading false information to harm her reputation. Karoline filed a staggering $250 million defamation lawsuit against them. Whoopi dismissed it as a joke. But ABC wasn't laughing at all. Even behind closed doors, executives were rushing, advertisers were in a panic, and legal commentators were already calling this one of the most dramatic courtroom confrontations in the history of daytime television. But then things quickly got completely out of control, and that's where the fun really began.
I mean, I'm kind of wondering, ABC's in a lot of trouble. She's a problem. You got Brendan Carr on there, you know what. He's coming for him. He's restored all these bias complaints against the likes of ABC and NBC and CBS, and he's actually threatening that they may not allow for the affiliations at all those local stations for ABC all across the country, so much so that he sent a letter to one Bob Iger, who is the CEO of Disney. Disney is the owner of ABC News, which runs The View. And so now, interestingly, there's a new show for The View coming out on weekends, Whoopi, because you just can't get enough of it. But one Whoopi is not even in it. Not in it at all.
As the legal battle raged, there were rumors that Whoopi Goldberg was secretly preparing to take a one-way flight out of the country. Yes, you read correctly. According to reports, she was caught trying to board a plane to Europe at the airport in what many are describing as a last-ditch effort to escape the fallout before the lawsuit dropped. But the authorities were ready. Before the escape could even begin, Whoopi was allegedly stopped at the gate by TSA and federal agents. Within minutes, chaos broke out, and pictures and videos of the airport standoff went viral on social media, raising the question of whether Whoopi was actually trying to escape her own mess. ABC was thrown into full-fledged crisis mode.
Well, you know, listen, if you don't have anything to say, you blab. You just go on and 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 on.
Before the lawsuit was filed, she was caught at the airport trying to board a plane to Europe in what many are calling a last-ditch effort to avoid the fallout. However, the authorities were ready, and federal agents allegedly intercepted Whoopi right at the gate, stopping her escape before it could even start. As the legal firestorm grew, rumors circulated that Whoopi Goldberg was secretly planning an escape on a one-way flight out of the country. Internet commotion broke out when pictures and videos of the airport standoff went viral on social media, raising the question of whether Whoopi was actually trying to flee disaster while BC would plunge into a full-scale catastrophe. Well, if you have nothing to say, you just blab. According to ABC insiders, the executives are in full-blown panic mode, and to be honest, who can blame them? Not merely a dispute according to rumors. The veracity of the perspective and a $250 million lawsuit concerning an airport detention scenario are currently being questioned behind closed doors. Top executives are faced with two difficult choices. Either they try to manage the repercussions or they risk losing viewers, advertisers, and what's left of their reputation. Let's face it, a BC is already in a dangerous situation. One insider claims that this lawsuit is like gasoline on a blazing fire, and the network has even started to create a termination plan. Yes, Whoopi may be fired very soon, and Karoline Leavitt isn't even flinching. Ratings are down, fans are tuning away, and sponsors are starting to fast backtrack.
While I vow to provide the truth from this podium, we ask that all of you in this room hold yourselves to that same standard. We know for a fact there have been lies that have been pushed by many legacy media outlets in this country about this president, about his family, and we will not accept that. We will call you out when we feel that your reporting is wrong or there is misinformation about this White House.
Boom. She's got more.
I would like to point out to each and every one of you that in 2024, when Joe Biden was in the Oval Office or upstairs in the residence sleeping, I'm not so sure, egg prices increased 65% in this country.
Karoline Leavitt came out firing and didn't hold back when she made her statement. The mainstream media has unfairly targeted and defamed conservatives for far too long. But if you agree with them, I won't remain silent. Meanwhile, those who claim to support women's rights are furious, seeing her case as a significant turning point and a wake-up call for public people in the media who have gotten away with too much for too long. This could be the last straw that forces BC to finally clean house because they are already under pressure. Now, it's your turn. Will ABC eventually take action against the toxic atmosphere that exists behind the scenes? And will anything change as a result of Karoline Leavitt's lawsuit? Even though Whoopi Goldberg is sincerely trying to escape the case by avoiding the town? For more frank updates and behind-the-scenes disclosures, share your opinions in the comments area. Before you depart, remember to click the like and subscribe buttons.